The year is 845 AD. Imagine the terror that gripped the heart of Paris. The whispers started in the taverns. They spoke of ships with dragon heads. Vikings, those barbarians from the north, were sailing south, their insatiable hunger for loot leading them towards the heart of the Frankish kingdom. These were not mere raids. This was a full-scale invasion. They came in waves, their longboats sleek and deadly gliding up the Seine. The people of Paris trembled. They knew the Vikings' reputation for violence and brutality. No one was safe. King Charles the Bald, ruler of the Franks, was ill-prepared for such an assault. He hastily assembled a defense, but it was no match for the ferocity and cunning of the Viking warriors. The Vikings, masters of strategy, easily bypassed the few defenses Charles could muster. They stormed into the city, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. Paris was theirs. The Vikings, drunk with victory and avarice, unleashed their fury upon the city. They plundered its riches, desecrated its holy sites, and butchered its citizens. Churches burned. Homes were reduced to rubble. King Charles, trapped and desperate, was forced to watch helplessly from his palace. He had no choice but to negotiate with the Viking leader, a fearsome chieftain named Ragnar. The price of peace? An enormous ransom. 7,000 pounds of silver, to be exact. The Vikings, their bloodlust sated, accepted the king's offer. They departed Paris, laden with treasure, leaving behind a city in ruins and a king humiliated. But the respite was to be short-lived. The Vikings, like wolves who had tasted blood, would return. The year is 885. 20 years have passed since the first great Viking raid. Paris, its wounds slowly healing, had rebuilt. Massive stone walls, thicker and higher than before, now encircled the city. The bridges were fortified, guarded by heavily armed men. Paris was ready, or so it thought, but the Vikings too had learned from the past. This time they came under the banner of Siegfried, a chieftain as cunning as he was ruthless. He led a vast fleet, larger than any seen before. Their ships, laden with warriors, appeared on the horizon like a dark, ominous cloud. Count Odo, the defender of Paris, was a man of courage and determination. He rallied his men, inspiring them to fight for their city. The Parisians, remembering the horrors of the past, fought with the fury of the damned. The siege raged for months. The Vikings, masters of siege warfare, relentlessly pounded the city walls with catapults and battering rams, but Paris held firm. Count Odo's leadership proved invaluable, his tactical acumen thwarting every Viking attempt to breach the defenses. Finally, after a year of relentless assault, Emperor Charles the Fat, successor to Charles the Bald, arrived with an army. He chose not to fight. Instead, he offered the Vikings what they had always desired: land. He granted them a vast swath of territory in northern France, which would later become known as Normandy, the land of the Northmen. This marked a turning point in Viking history. No longer were they merely raiders and plunderers. They had become rulers, establishing their own principalities and integrating into the fabric of European society. Rollo, a Viking leader who had participated in the siege, swore fealty to Charles the Fat, accepting Christianity and becoming the first Duke of Normandy. The Vikings, once feared as harbingers of chaos, had become agents of change, their legacy forever intertwined with the destiny of Europe.